Welcome to Deep Thought, the work. You know what? I remember years ago, I was doing a seminar. It was kind of a relationship slash metaphysical type of seminar. In fact, I have a seminar that I've done properly called Finding the Right Mate Metaphysically. And I might even do that on here, right? But anyway, right? Check it out. You know, as I was doing it, this one dude came in, right? And I saw him and I knew him because, you know, we run in those same circles, those deep circles. And in fact, right now, this particular dude, I mean, he got a crew. He got some stuff. He's a kind of a metaphysical teacher in the DC area. Teaches Qigong and all of that stuff. And I mean, and he got a nice little following, right? Anyway, I remember he came in and even though he paid, I looked at him and I said, yo, man, I might need to give you your money back, man. I'm just going to talk about the stuff that you already know, that I knew he knew. And I was just being fair to him. You know, I'm always be fair. I never take anybody's money if I don't need to. Right? And he said, nah, that's cool. And he even gave me a few extra dollars because he said, nah, man, we need you out here teaching the work, right? The work is just this real spiritual, deep work that everybody has to do. See, a lot of times, one of the problems with, I'm just going to be real, one of the problems with spirituality nowadays, it's too easy for people just to be what they're going to be, and they think they'll be forgiven or, you know, as long as they do this, everything's cool, but they really haven't evolved. All the spiritual systems, when they were first introduced, regardless of the path, were introduced as systems of evolution. For the Christians out there, Jesus, or as he was originally known, Yeshua, he taught a system of evolution. And if you doubt that, just look at some of the books that weren't put in the Bible and study Gnostic Christianity. It was about doing the work to become better for evolving your spirit, evolving your behavior. You look at all systems. You look at character development with the African traditional system of religion of the Yoruba, Ifa. Iwa Pele. That's character development. If you look at anything is, regardless, even like some martial arts, which in some cases can be considered systems of evolution, is about becoming better, not a better fighter, but a better person. You want to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the work. Like, I have a friend, she curses a lot. She curses like a cell. Gracious. And she said she just started a curse jar because she realizes she needs to deal with that. Because even though, y'all heard me on some of my Rom Wills videos and stuff, I can throw some words out there, but really that lowers the vibration. That's why it's rare you hear me really cursing on this channel, because I want the vibration to be different. But that's work. Anything that you're doing to improve who you are is work. Who you are as a person. See, every single year, every person should be spiraling up. And you can actually mark it by significant events. For example, say you break up with somebody on what's the day? January 12th. Say you broke up with somebody on January 12th, 2017. It was a bad breakup. Yet throughout that year, you learn some stuff. You learn about yourself. And then what happened is, and this gets into some deeper stuff. This is a whole other podcast. what'll happen is the same circumstances you will find, even if it's a different person, the same circumstances that caused you to break up with that person on January 12th of 2017. If you're with another person on January 12th, 2018, the same circumstances that broke you up pop up. But if you did the work, like you actually analyzed what happened during that first breakup. You looked at it, not just the other person. See, one thing, when we had these breakups, it's easy for us to say that person had a problem. But if we really look at us and say, well, what did I do? And then you actually work on that issue. Then when the same circumstances that broke you up from a person in 2017, when those circumstances happen again, you already know what to do. Because you did the work. See, one of the things I talked about just in Nice Guys and Players, I ain't get behind the metaphysics of it, but learn from your mistakes. Learn from it, grow from it. Because ultimately when stuff happens, we contributed to it whether we like it or not. It's easy to say, like, relationships. That's actually... It's actually good to use relationships as an example because most spiritual growth occurs in the context of a relationship. Because most spiritual growth has to deal with dealing with other people, and this is nowhere more intimate. That's the ultimate relationships when you are physically in somebody else's body. Or you allowing somebody to physically be in your body. You can't get more intimate than that. So you're going to learn some stuff. But getting back to that breakup thing, the relationship thing, it's always two people. So you can't help what that other person did. Yeah, they had some issues. And see, a lot of times people point to those issues, but don't look at themselves. It's like everybody else. And I'm like, no, you got to look at yourself. What did you do to contribute to it? Then once you understand what you did to contribute to, you can work on that at least. Don't worry about the other person. Then when it comes back around, and y'all will find things go in cycles, that cycle come back around, you already know what to do. You already like, okay, I can't do this, or, I can't be jealous here, or, I'm going to have to keep my temper down here. Boom. That's when you're doing the work. The work starts with the mirror. Let me say that again. The work starts with the mirror and just being honest with yourself. Like one thing I've noticed with the work that I've done, I've noticed a very powerful thing. It's hard. Stuff could happen. And there was a time I would get upset. I wouldn't be calm about it. I'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, damn. Yeah, I just cursed. I'm still working. Right? Look, I would be upset and... Now, it's like it's almost anything, and it's like I'm to the point I'm calm in most cases when initially presented with something. Like, I give you a little tiny example. You know how we all park our car or someplace, like at a parking lot, we forget where we parked. I remember the time, I say 10 years ago, if I didn't see my car right away, I'm like, oh man, somebody stole my car. What the hell? I'll be jumping around. Now, if I don't see it, I'll just say, hold on, where's it at? Oh, I must have parked over there. Or if somebody says something shocking to me, I remember the time I'm like, now I'm like, okay. Because of work, I know how to be calm in the situation. No, it's not the end of the world. Because, okay, say, for example, somebody did take my car. I was like, there'd have been a time I've been like, but then I'll be like, because I've had a car stolen before. Man, it drives you crazy about this little punk little kid, right? We found the car right away. But check it out, right? Check it out. Now, if somebody would steal my car, I'd be like highly inconvenienced. But it's a paid for car. And I would just be like, oh, okay. Call the police, like, yeah, here's a license plate. Here's this and that. Boom. Probably find it before I get off the phone. Because usually, like, people get cars and stuff. You got a lot of joyriders. But my point is I would be calm. Even dealing with, once again, relationships. By doing work, I know what it is within me that causes me to have any trouble that I'll have with a woman. I know exactly what it is. So it's like I've been working on that. That's the work. That's the work. It's spiritual. I've done the work to figure out, okay, I've had periods of success in life. I had periods of poverty in life. Like stuff just wasn't working. By doing the work, I figured out, okay, how to keep this working all the time. Because I was like, okay, this is what the problem was. And I mean, that's everything, every single thing. I'm about to go work out in a bit after I record this, right? Because Rom's in, I'm a stocky dude, but I mean, most people think I'm in good shape. But I'm like, well, you know what? I also know if I don't keep working out, I'll put out on some. So I'm like, you know what? It's better just to work out hard to keep it from going the other way. Because I know what I'm comfortable with. Right? And I know what it takes to maybe lose weight or even put on weight. Because there's been times just for whatever reason I've said I had to put on weight. It's a long story. But so, but just knowing myself, doing the work, I know what works, what doesn't. And, also, even health, you do the work and you really pay attention. You already know you shouldn't be eating this type of food because this is what the response is going to be. That's the work. So it's very important. Every aspect of life is work. Remember, just one thing, if you get one takeaway from this, it's all about evolution. Every single day you should be working, even if it's just a tiny bit, being better than the day before. To rise, you got to think like a tree. Every single day, like a tree, you plant that seed. It might be 5 years or so before it even, well, I don't know how long it is. I just know a 5-year-old tree is actually kind of small. But you're not going to notice it. Like if you look at a tree growing up, you ever seen a tree growing? I've seen some trees grow, right? If you look at it every day, you might not be able to tell anything. But then if you look at it and come back a month later and look at it, you can see the growth. And it's kind of like that. The work is like that. It's just going to be little bit. But then something will come up and then you'll realize a certain situation. Like, hold up. I would have responded to this situation differently just a year ago. Wow, I've really grown. And that's how you're supposed to be. That's how you got to do. Focus on the work. The spiritual work, the emotional work, however you want to characterize it. So anyway, right? That's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.